Ready? Good morning. We're back. We're live. We're in London. We'll talk about that later. And yeah, we've missed you guys. We've been on a bit of a holiday. And I decided I'd wear white today so you can see our tan because we're a bit excited. We've so we had a holiday, which was absolutely amazing. We feel very, very, very spoiled and privileged to be able to have a holiday at the moment with lockdown and everything else going on. So that's why I wasn't able to do the live lessons, but I did log on every time and just put comments in the chat. But we're back. We're in the room. We're back home, and we're ready to go. We're ready to go. And do you know what? Actually, having those 2 weeks off, coming back today and preparing for this last night, I felt really resty. And I thought, wow, I've only not been doing this for 2 weeks. I'm a little bit nervous about it. And what if I get it wrong? I'm going to make mistakes. And I thought, that's really good for me to feel that sensation, because that's potentially what you guys are going to be feeling like after a much longer break when you get back to school in September. So it really got me thinking about how it's going to be for you and how if we can continue to do these over the next few weeks, hopefully it will really, really help you as you go back to school come September. Okay, so what else has happened since I've been away? I'll tell you one thing that happened which just really, really made me laugh. I don't know if you can see it now, but when I was watching the videos live and the screen is over to the side, which I can't do now because Rose has moved the table, you might have noticed in the corner there was a load of pizza boxes, a load of Papa John pizza boxes. And I just wanted to say, that's not because we sit and eat pizzas every day and then can't be bothered to check the boxes out. Those, as any one of you who know me, who I've taught, or any of my fellow teachers know, I have a classroom full of weird stuff, right? And my pizza boxes actually aren't pizza boxes. They're to teach children fraction of an amount. So we put a circle inside the pizza box and we put little bits of pepperoni in there. So that was just so you don't think I gorge myself on pizza every night. I don't. They're one of my maths props. Okay, so and then the other thing I just quickly wanted to say, and again, it's in its infancy, but I've set up a Facebook page. It's called Maths with Miss, but the with Miss bit is one word. For some reason, it wouldn't let me do 3 words. So it's maths, and then it's with Miss, but the with Miss is one word, right? And on there, I'm just going to quickly show you, actually, if I can see the wonders of technology. I'm still learning, honestly. So if I show you this, you maybe can see this. Hopefully you can see this. Right, so let's have a look. So that's what it looks like at the moment. Obviously not very glamorous. I haven't worked out how to add things on. But the important bit is the questions. I know you can't read that, but the questions that we're doing today are now being uploaded. So the challenge questions we're doing today are being uploaded on there, although I've actually changed it very slightly since I uploaded this because Rose has got a little guest appearance today. And also it means, again, I don't know if you can see that. You probably can't see it very well, but you can load up. It's a shame you can't see that because that's Chloe's work. And it's absolutely brilliant. And she's uploaded some of her work for me. So thank you very much to Chloe for doing that. So, so that Facebook page, it's still in its infancy, but it is now live. So that's available and that I will continue to put resources on that as well. And also, just whilst we're talking about Facebook, I got this absolutely gorgeous, again, you probably can't see it, but this gorgeous message from Chloe wishing me a happy birthday. So thank you very much to Chloe for that. That's brilliant. That made my day, actually. So thank you. Right, okay. Whew, shall we get started? You know the score: 2 pens, one of a different colour, a ruler, no calculator, a notepad or paper for setting it all out, and even though mine is very rusty from my amazing holiday, our fabulous brains. Let's get started. So I'm going to put up the question I left you on Friday. If you've not had a chance to look at it, then you can pause the video and do it now. And look, I'm going to have to rub this off, but this was Rose's summer scene: beach, surfboards, sandcastles. Oh, it's what? That's a coconut.
Yeah, that's a coconut thing with the straw poking out. It's coconut milk.
It's coconut. I don't know where she thought. Maybe she thought we were going to the Caribbean. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. That's going to disappear, so I can go through this challenge question. But I'm just going to pop it up for you for one quick second for those of you who didn't look at it whilst I clear the board. Can I find my board rubber? Right. Quite impressive that came off after 2 weeks of sitting here. Okay, so this is an interesting question. We need to use a little bit of trial and error on this one. So I might just grab the question so I can see it in front of me as well. There might be some clues in the question. So we are wanting to create a fraction, okay, of an amount, okay, and then that equals another amount, and there are 6 boxes that I need to fill in. Can you read that? Yeah. Okay, and we can use the digits 1 to 9. Interesting, we can't use 0, and we can only use each digit once, so we have to play around with some different numbers and see what works. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a half because that's probably the easiest fraction that I know. Okay, so I could say it's got to be a 2-digit number. I can't have the number 0. So I could do a half of 12. Well, I can't do that because I've already used the 1 and the 2. And if half of 12 would be 6. So now I know that this number has got to be bigger than 20 because this number here has to be bigger than 10, right? Because again, we can't have that 0. So we just need to play around and find some numbers that only appear once, okay? Because I could say half of 48 is 24, but I'm going to use the 2 twice and the 4 twice. So has anyone got an answer for this? Let's have a look at the chat and see. And good morning to you all. I will do some shout outs in a little bit. Oh no, someone's not very well. Who's not very well? Oh, you went to the Lake District. You've dislocated your arm. Goodness me. Oh, well. Hello, Alex. Alex, sorry. Right, okay. Anyway, play around a little bit with these numbers. As I say, you can pause it if you want to have a go. But the solution, the first solution, is half of 68 is 34. If anyone got that, I would love to know. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness, Chloe, you got it. That's absolutely brilliant. I am so impressed. Now, there is one more solution, which is a really mean one. I wouldn't necessarily expect anyone to get this one. And that is, we can leave the 2 there, actually. We're going to have an improper fraction. Oh, no, actually, let's get rid of that. And we're going to have 6 over 3. Yeah, 6 over 3. I'll rub those out, otherwise you think, well, it makes sense if you pause it on that particular spot. Okay, so 6 over 3. So we know that that simplifies to 2 of 27 is 54. And let's just double check. Yeah, we've only used each number once. So that's a tricky one. The main one is that half of 68 is 34. Very good. So let's get the numeracy, the ninjas up. Our 30 questions of the day, and I'm going to put some music on. And as you can see, I'm not quite with it, am I? I'm not quite as slick as I normally am. Let's get the questions up. I will find the music because I've just unplugged my phone to show you that Facebook page. And let's get going. 2 minutes. Right. Music. There we go. Okay, you've got about 10 seconds. Told you I wasn't with it. Keep forgetting things. Okay, part 2. Okay, and again, about 10 seconds to go. Okay, and your last questions, part 3. Okay, in about 30 seconds. Okay, let's start going through some answers. I was just having a quick look at the chat as well, and there's a comment about 3/8 of 56 being a potential solution as well. I'm going to take a look at that in a moment. I'll come back to it. So let's just go through the answers to part 1. Do I have my pointy stick? Right. Yay. We have my pointy stick. Still can find a few things. Okay, so question 1 is 3. Question 2 is 121. Question 3 is 79. Question 4 is 850. Question 1, -3, and we're subtracting a -2. So that's the same as -3 plus 2, which gives us -1. -8, and we're adding -5. That's going to give us -13. Question 7 is 35.72. Question 8 is 490.0. The 0 after the decimal point shows you the degree of accuracy to which you have rounded. And finally, the prime factors of 1,296. I'm just going to quickly show that on the board very quickly. I've just sketched it up whilst you were doing those questions. So hopefully you can see it's a bit small at the bottom. We talked about this in one of our earlier lessons. So to create a prime factor tree, we work out what numbers are first numbers divisible by. Now, some people might say, well, that is divisible by 12 perhaps, or 6, or even 36, I don't know. But for me, I'm just see it's an even number. So I divide by 2. And it's still an even number, and I just kept going, dividing by 2 as long as it was an even number. And then once it became 81, it's now an odd number. Then I looked at whether I could divide it by 3. And then I kept going, dividing by 3, until all of my numbers at the end of my upside down tree, you called it a weeping willow tree, didn't you, Rose? All of my numbers are prime numbers, and I put a circle around them, okay? Now, if this was a question, this is a Key Stage 3 question, if this was a question in a test, it would ask you then to write this number as a product of its prime factors. To get that final mark, you would then write 1296 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And what I do is I tick them off to make sure I've not missed any. And then multiplied by 3 by 3 by 3. There we go. Okay, and again, tick them off. Make sure that I've not missed anything. All right, so that would be full marks if the question said, write the number as a product of its prime factors. Sometimes the question says in index form. If it's to be in index form, we would write it using powers or indices. So we would write 2. Now I'm stretching some of you here because this is fast forwarding well and truly into Key Stage 3. 2 to the power 4 multiplied by 3 to the power 4. Okay, excellent. Right, part 2. Let's do the answers to part 2. Yeah. Oh, to the power 4. To the power 4. Yeah, that's Rose just asked the question. You can have squared, you can have cubed. The ones I just wrote upon the board are to the power 4. Very good question, Rose. Part 2, question 1 is 117. Question 2 is 464.7. Question 3 is 26. Question 4 is 0.1. Question 5 is 5. Question 6 is 450. Question 7, 187.7%. Remember, percentages can be greater than 100. Question 8 is 38. And there are two equations. I'm just going to very quickly show you which two equations they are on the board. Right, so let's flip this back round. If I can squeeze a little bit of space on this side of the board and find my pen. Okay, so the first one, Rose, can you do me a favour?
Yeah.
Can you just clear this half of the board for me while I'm doing these? Thank you, darling. All right, so we wanted to know which ones were x is 18. So x subtract 2 equals, definitely still got a holiday brain, equals 16. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. Remember, we talked about the balancing method. So x equals 18. Okay, that's my first one. The next one was 10 subtract x equals 8. The way I would do this is I'd want to make my x positive first. So I would add x to both sides. That gives me 10 equals 8 plus x. And now I can subtract my 8. Oh, and I can see without even finishing this that definitely that doesn't give me x equals 18. Thank you very much for that, Rose. Take 6. Okay, very quickly, x divided by 2 equals 36. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 to get x equals 72. So that does not equal 18. And finally, 2x plus 14 equals 50. Okay, I've got to do this in steps. Can you see? There we go. All right, so the first thing I want to do is subtract 14 from both sides. That's going to give me 2x equals 36. And then my second stage even is to divide both sides by 2. X equals 18. So I have two solutions where it equals, two solutions where it equals 18. Brilliant. Okay, so part 3. Right, so let's quickly go through these. So we have question, thank you for rubbing the board off, Rose. Question 1 is 73. Question 2 is 180%. Question 3 is 8,991. Question 4, 505. Question 5, there is nothing wrong with leaving your answer as an improper fraction, 81/10, or you could write it as a mixed number, or you could write it as a decimal. Question 6 is 9, positive 9. Question 7 is 1.8, very similar to this one up here. Question 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, a multiple of 3, and then the parents versus kids challenge. I'm just going to look at both of those again super quickly on the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, some of you will have remembered the trick on this, that if you add up the digits, if the sum of the digits is a multiple of 3, then your number is a multiple of 3. So if we add them together, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 gives me 10. It is not a multiple of 3. So it's not in the 3 times table. All right. But this one, when we add these up, we end up with 21. So yes, it is a multiple of 3. Okay, so really nice little trick. And that will help you with one of the questions coming up. I can't remember if it's today or Wednesday. And 21, 2 plus 1 is 3. Rose is just telling me. Okay, right. So pop your scores in. Have I got any scores in yet? Rose, for some reason, is telling you that she had an allergic reaction to an insect bite and her arm swelled up. Okay, it's absolutely fine now. Okay, now I've got a sad face. Not only about Rose and her arm, but that's okay. We're going to move on from that. From Chloe, no, I don't want to see sad faces because I know that you're working your socks off. And let me tell you something, Chloe, that Rose said to me when she picked up her notebook to do the questions today. Now, I accept that we have had a little bit of a holiday. She said to me, I can't remember how to do any of these questions, Mum. So just remember, maths is about practice, and maths is about slowly getting a little bit better. It's not about the score necessarily, because those were some really tough questions. Maybe I went in a bit too hard. It's about practice, and it's about just continuously and slowly improving. Okay, so I want to see, as they used to say, didn't they? Turn that frown upside down. I want to see a smiley face next time. Okay, so let's, I keep talking, don't I, today? I think it's because I'm excited to be back. Right, here is your challenge question. Have a look at this. What did you get out of 30 rows? Oh yeah, I know our brains are all a bit mushy still. Yeah, we'll do that next time. Right, now this is a tough question. I'm going to give you a little bit longer, and I'm going to give you some clues on the board, but remember, you can work through it at your own pace. And if you do go onto the Facebook page, you can also access these on there and print them out or what have you, so you can do them in your own time. So I'll give you another 30 seconds. I'll draw it up on the board, and I'll talk you through it. But if you want more time, just pause it, practice, and then play when you want a bit more feedback. Thank you, Rose. Okay, so I have put up, sorry, Rose, can I just move this a little bit?
Okay.
Apologies, so I can just move that down a bit. Hopefully you can see that a bit better now. So I've just drawn it up on the board, and that's what I would always suggest you do as your starting point, because it gives you some structure to answering the question, but it also just gives you that little bit of thinking time, because as you're writing it down, your brain, even if it's subconscious, is thinking about how can I even think about looking at this question. And the key thing here is you've been given the numbers that need to be filled in. So you know what the numbers are, you just need to work out where they go. But there's some more information we've been given. We know that this column here sums to 21, okay? And that this row here also sums to 21. So that's really important information. And we know that these 7 numbers here are going to go into our grid. But one of those numbers, we don't know which number it is yet, but one of those numbers will be counted twice, because the number in this box where the X is will get counted in the row and will also get counted in the column. And that is the trick to solving this question. If you want more time, pause it or go back to the actual question. Let me just put it there so you can pause it on that. Not that you really want my face on it. Okay. So if I add all these numbers together, I know that they all appear in my grid. So let's do that first. I've got 2 plus 3. I'm going to write them in a slightly different order because I'm still in holiday mode. I'm a bit tired. I'm a little bit lazy. So I'm going to write 2 plus 3 plus 5, and then I'm going to add 4 and 6, and then 7 and 8. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm not using a calculator. I can see that that is 10. I can see that that is 10. And then I'm going to add 15. So hopefully you can see, for me, with my holiday brain, that's a slightly easier way to get to 35. Okay, so all of the numbers added together give us 35, but one of the numbers appears twice. We need to work out which number it is. So if I look at this, this adds up to 21, and this adds up to 21. So that, well, I can do that, can't I? I know that 21 plus 21 gives me 42. But hang on a minute, hang on. I've counted the x twice. So I need to subtract one of this number because it's appeared twice. I've double counted it. So now what I'm saying is that the 42, I need to subtract the x from to make it equal 35. Okay, let's see if that makes sense. The 42, because I've double counted the x, I need to subtract x from it. I'm going to take that x away. Oh, after I've taken it away, it's going to equal 35. Yeah, because we've double counted that x. So now I can play around and rearrange this. I can add x to both sides. I always do that if I can, because I want my x to be positive, not negative. So now I've got 42 equals 35 plus x. Now I'm going to subtract my 35, and that tells me that 7. Oh no, has Chloe got the answer?
No, she thinks it's 4.
Oh, well, it's not quite 4. So what I'd suggest, Chloe, is maybe have a look through the explanation and have another go, or have a little pause and have a little go and then look at the explanation. Entirely up to you. So if you can see that squished all the way down at the bottom, x is 7, or 7 is x. So now I can change my x into a 7. Right, I've done 90% of the work now. Now it's just a matter of working out where the other numbers go. I know that they add up to 21. Maybe I can use a different colour for this. So these 3 boxes here have got to add up to 14, yeah? If you can, I know the red doesn't come out great, does it? Let's try. And then these 3 numbers here also need to add up to 14. If you can possibly see that slightly better. 1 second, Rose, 1 second. Okay, so then you just play around with the remaining numbers. We cross out the 7 because we've used that. We need 3 of these numbers that add together to make 14. And we just play around, okay? So, pardon? Yeah, go on. So I want 3 numbers that add together to make 14. So 2 plus 3
equals 5.
Yeah, we need 9, so that doesn't work.
You can do 3 and 4 to
It's
make
7, and you need 7. You haven't got that.
No, but that makes 14, doesn't it? Or do you need
No,
4?
you need to use 7 twice. So 4 plus 5 is 9.
Maybe 2 and 4 equals 6.
Okay, plus. That's right. So 2 and 4 is 6, and then add on what? Brilliant. 2,
Yay.
4, and 8. And obviously I could have done the 2, 4, and 8 though. It doesn't matter.
So now we cross off there, and that means that we've only got 3 numbers left. So 3, 5, and 6.
Perfect. And you can obviously put those in any order. Okay. Well done, Rose. That was excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. As I said, I'm definitely talking too much. So I'm going to hand over to Rose.
Oh, yay.
And this is what she's going to do for you. I just want you to read that for 1 second. She's going to teach you a little trick, how to make a notebook out of a single piece of A4 paper. Let me just set up the props for you so you can demonstrate. Okay. And right, do you want to show what it's going to look like when you finish first? Okay, we're ready to go. Let's make sure you can see Rose. And there's her little table, her demonstration table. Okay, over to Rose.
So this is what it will look like in the end. It will have 8 pieces to write on at 8 pages. So get your A4 and fold it.
So if you haven't got a piece of A4 paper, you can do this later, or you can just pause it and have a go now. Entirely up to you.
Okay, so you get it and you sort of have to line it exactly. And just make sure you get a good crease. And then fold it again.
Okay, so Rose has folded it into 2 halves. Now she's folding it into 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
And now it's in how many eighths?
8.
8 eighths. Well done.
Okay. You need to make sure that your creases are sort of good. So now you've got this.
Okay. So fold it back up again.
So then you fold it in half once or twice.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, once. And then you get a pair of scissors. And you can
No. That way, yeah. You got to show where you're cutting.
You cut it through this.
To the middle, yeah? That's it.
That's it. And then
hold it up.
So it now should look like this. So now
yeah. So that's the tricky bit now, is how you fold it. That's it, that's it, that's it.
You fold it like this, sort of.
Almost like a little beak of a bird.
So you fold it like this. And then you try and get these 2 to sort of go like magnets.
Okay.
Like so when you push magnets together. And then you fold it like this. And then
yeah, that's it. And then, that's it. And then fold it again.
And then you fold it again, and you've got your booklet. So you open it. So this would be the front cover, and you could make a little. How does a book open?
Yeah. So look. So this is the one that Rose did earlier. So you can see that can be your front cover. You can decorate it, and you can take some photos and put them on the Facebook page for us. And then you've got page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5,
page 6, page 7,
and page 8.
And then the last page could be the blurb.
The blurb. So look at that, right? You can make a little book. All you need is 1 piece of paper and 1 pair of scissors. You don't need glue, sellotape, staplers, anything. There you go. So that's your little fun fact of the day. On Wednesday, we're going to do a card trick for you. So if you've got any, if you've got someone's contacting us from Spain. Wow, I bet it's super hot in Spain. Hello, Izzy in Spain. Amazing. Okay, right, come on, because I'm really ridiculously excited about being back, and it means I'm overrunning, and I do apologise. Right, okay, so dingbats. There's your first one. Write it in the chat if you know. Rose has already told me what she thinks it is. Oh, forgot what we got. Oh, Chloe likes your little booklets.
Chloe.
Okay. Are you ready?
What can I say, Mum?
Rose is going to shout out what it is.
Get over it.
Excellent. Chloe got that as well. Right, next one. You got it? Say what you see. Say what you see. No. Rose said, is it hands and wise? It is not. Say what you see. What is it? What's on the left-hand side? Say it again. Clock.
Clockwise. Clockwise.
Clockwise. There you go. Clockwise. Brilliant. All right. And
That's
finally, thank you. As you can see, we're a little bit excited to be back. I've got to go now, actually. I've got to go into my school now. Oh, and Rose, yeah, we'll do that another day. But Rose has got some really, really exciting news. Go ahead.
We've got a doggy!
Okay. All right. All
Her
right.
name's Harper.
We've got a rescue dog, a little puppy that we collected on Saturday called Harper. She is unbelievably amazing, but she's a little bit timid, but we will introduce you at some point. Right, here is your takeaway challenge, and I will see you on Wednesday. Thank you very much. Have a fabulous week.
Bye-bye.
Can't reach. Right, I can't read what I've written.